Welcome to our lay tips for today. These are the horses to bet against today. The 11:30 at Lingfield today is the Stay in Control with Bet UK Handicap, a competitive Class 5 race over 1 mile and 4 furlongs. It's a wide-open contest with several intriguing runners, but if I were looking for a lay bet, my selection would be Sharp Distinction. Here's why. Sharp Distinction is trained by Amy Murphy and ridden by Frederick Larson, who claims £3. On paper, he looks like a solid contender. He's a course winner, and he's dropping to what could be considered a tempting mark. Plus, first-time blinkers are applied, which might suggest Connections are trying to reignite his spark. However, there are clear vulnerabilities here that make him a risky proposition as a win candidate. Firstly, let's look at his recent form. He's been a disappointment lately, with his last win coming over a year ago. Most recently, he finished last of 6 at Newcastle despite being well backed as the favourite. That effort raised serious doubts about his reliability, as he didn't find anything when asked to quicken. It's not the kind of run you want to see coming into a competitive handicap like this. Secondly, while the blinkers might sharpen him up, there's no guarantee they'll work the way Connections hope. Sometimes first-time headgear can backfire, making a horse more unsettled rather than focused. Given his inconsistent profile, relying on blinkers to bring about improvement feels like a gamble in itself. Thirdly, Lingfield's pace dynamics may not play to his strengths. This race has several front runners, like Arazo, who will likely dictate the tempo from the front. Sharp Distinction may find himself chasing a race that doesn't suit his running style, especially if the pace becomes tactical. Finally, he faces stiff competition from better-fancied rivals like Arazo, who comes here off a strong win and looks progressive, and Switchell, who recently broke her maiden and remains unexposed. Even horses like Upipo, who has run well at this track before, offer more consistency than Sharp Distinction. For these reasons, I'd make Sharp Distinction my lay bet in this race. His patchy form, reliance on blinkers to spark improvement, and the competitive nature of this field all make him a runner to oppose today. If he wins, fair play to Connections, but at his current odds, he doesn't look like value for the win. Next, we have the 5 o'clock at Southwell today. The safer gambling tools at BetMGM Handicap is a competitive class for contest over a mile. While Rogue Encore comes into the race with strong credentials, there are several reasons why laying him might be a smart move. Let's break it down. First, Rogue Encore is carrying a £6 penalty for his recent back-to-back wins at Newcastle. While those performances were impressive, a penalty in such a competitive field can often be the deciding factor, especially against rivals who are better treated at the weights. That extra burden might be too much for him to overcome today. Second, track suitability is a question mark. His recent wins were at Newcastle, which has a fairer and more galloping tapeter surface compared to Southwell's tighter and more tactical track. Southwell often rewards horses with sharp tactical speed, and if Rogue Encore doesn't adapt to the change, he could struggle. Third, the pace dynamics may not work in his favour. Rogue Encore has been effective when racing prominently, but this race features other frontrunners who could force a faster early pace. If he's pressured from the outset, it could expose any weaknesses, especially under his penalty. Additionally, his price is likely to be short, as he'll attract plenty of support being a 3-year-old chasing a hat-trick. At cramped odds, the risk-reward ratio for laying him becomes more appealing, especially in a race with several in-form and capable opponents. Finally, the competition is stiff. Helm Rock, for instance, is coming off an unlucky second and looks well handicapped, while Waiting All Night and Local Music are consistent performers with strong chances. Even Spirit of Acklam, an unexposed type, could improve and cause an upset. To summarize, while Rogue Encore has been in great form, his penalty, the track change, and the competitive nature of this race all make him vulnerable. At a short price, he's worth opposing. If the race doesn't go his way tactically, or if the penalty takes its toll, he could struggle to secure the hat-trick. Laying Rogue Encore offers a logical angle in this wide-open handicap. That concludes our lay tips for today. Please like and subscribe.